Yo, what's up, everybody? It's Andrew coming back at you with another episode of the Jaguar podcast. In today's episode, we're going to be discussing the Julio Jones trade from the Atlanta Falcons over to the Tennessee Titans. But before we get into it, as always, if you want to show your boy some love and support, hit that red subscribe button and hit that bell icon if you want updates on latest content. All right, let's get into it. So a couple days ago, it was announced that Julio Jones was traded from the Atlanta Falcons to the Tennessee Titans. This deal was done. So essentially, the Titans gave up a second-round pick in 2022 and a fourth-rounder in 2023. So, this deal, I think, could be. It's kind of up in the air for me. I can't really say who wins in this one because Julio Jones has had some issues with staying healthy. So I think if he could stay healthy this year, man, the Titans could, get to the Super Bowl. I mean, this is a dangerous combination. A.J. Brown and Julio Jones, who's a weapon. But, he's had some problems with injuries. And that's really a big, determining factor on whether he's going to be worth this trade. I think it definitely makes the division a lot more difficult for Jacksonville. I mean, and I said this, guys, like, we needed to go for the best corner in this draft, and that was Patrick Surtain. We didn't go for him. We needed to be aggressive in this draft, and we needed to go for corners. We did get some nice corner depth with Tyson Campbell, some nice depth in the safety position with Andre Cisco, but it's really going to be difficult in this division with Julio Jones. You got to have two really good corners, so C.J. Henderson has to step up. This season we have to see better play from him. He's got to press better. He's got to be a better tackler. He's had some problems with injuries, so I think maybe that's why Urban Meyer and the Jaguars decided to hedge at the corner position, and they went with Tyson Campbell. Maybe that's why they brought back Sidney Jones. I think that was a good decision. Shaquille Griffin, he's got to step up, right? He's got to play really good football this season. He's got to be a good press corner. And we're paying him a lot of money. And, that's the bottom line. I mean, it's just going to be a difficult division for the Jaguars, this year, the AFC South. In my opinion, it's going to be a rebuild season. I'll do more episodes about that. But, the Titans are going to have a pretty stacked team, right? They have Tannehill, who's a good quarterback, in my opinion. A lot of people don't agree with that, but he's got a good system. He's got a good offensive line. He's got a great front five. He's got a great running back. Derrick Henry, he's a beast. Then he's got A.J. Brown. You have Julio Jones. They have a pretty good tight end. I'm forgetting his name off the top of my head, but this is going to be a team that's going to be a force. I mean, it's going to be a tough division rivalry. I hate playing the Titans. I mean, they're like a kryptonite. It's always I love to see us win a game against them because it's just, it brings back nightmare young childhood games where back in I think it was 2001 or so, I think, or I forget, that Mark Brunell, that home game where he lost to the Titans in the playoffs. It just makes me, it makes me cringe, man. I don't like the Titans, man. It's not. That's a big rivalry for us, almost as big as the Steeler rivalry. But this is it's going to be tough, man. It's going to be a tough regular season for Jacksonville, and I think another thing I wanted to touch on in this episode is Jacksonville's inability to bring in big free agent acquisitions. And this is just proves my point about how the Chris Doyle hiring backfired for Jacksonville. And it really did. I mean, you saw it in this free agency. Just Jacksonville had a pile of money to throw at free agents, right? I mean, I think they had 80 plus million in cap, and they didn't bring anybody in that was like a big name, right? Like they had, tight ends that are out there, right? Like Jonnu Smith, you had JJ Watt out there. You still have Zach Ertz out there. Then you had Julio Jones rather that was out there. And they just, and Julio Jones was rumored to be in the running for a Jacksonville free agency. There were rumors that he wanted to go to Jacksonville, but he chose the Titans, right? And you have Juju Schuster too. He was rumored to be in talks with Jacksonville. So I mean, you have to wonder, right? Like, what's the deciding factor? Where are these free agents going? Are they going to teams that have great cultures? Are they going to winning teams? I mean, I think there's some debate, but I think the Chris Doyle situation was just a disaster for the Jacksonville Jaguars franchise. I mean, you can't debate that. Yeah, I mean, it's very, it's concerning, and it goes back to what I said, guys. It's culture, building a culture of, character, building a culture of winning and success. And that's what Urban Meyer needs to do, in order to get us back on track. But, that's just kind of, some of my thoughts on this. I think we're going to be contenders next season. It'll be very interesting to see what happens. Shaq Griffin, like I said, has to step up. The secondary has to step up. The offensive line has to protect Trevor Lawrence or Gardner Minshew, whoever wins out the job in training camp. And those are going to be, the big factors there. We have a great wide receiver core: Marvin Jones Jr., Laviska Shenault, DJ Chark, Colin Johnson. We also picked up some people in the draft, Jalen Camp. It'll be a very interesting training camp, and to see who. And then we have Tim Tebow as well. We'll see what happens with him. That's that may be a little bit of a clown show. And then we have, good backup quarterbacks, Gardner Minshew and CJ Beathard. So, it'll be a very interesting training camp. It'll be very interesting to see what happens. But let me know how you guys feel about the Julio Jones trade. Definitely, in my opinion, makes this division much harder to win. But, leave me a comment on the YouTube video or podcast episode. Subscribe to the channel. Stay safe, guys. Go Jags, and I'll see you next time.